Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are new, this is Jikoni 250. Today we are going to cook spaghetti. This is not normal spaghetti. This spaghetti is so special. You will get to see it. So for starting, I have boiling water. I just added a little bit of salt, and you have to taste before you add your spaghetti. Then add a desired quantity of spaghetti. Then after that, just for the spaghetti not to be matted together, what you do, just do as I did. Do not push it down, let it go down by itself. So I'm going to cover and let it cook. After a few minutes, I will open and then mix so that my spaghetti will not be matted together. Just make sure that you will keep on opening and mixing. So my spaghetti is done. What I did, I just rinsed it with cold water, or just wash it with cold water so that it will not be matted or stick together. So for the spaghetti sauce, I don't like it to be browned. I have cut some carrots, some green pepper, some onions. I have some garlic and tomatoes. I'm also going to use tin mackerel fish. I also have tomato paste and the chicken bouillon, or you can use Maggi. So what we are now going to do, I have a pot. It has a little bit of cooking oil. Then I added my carrots and onions. I have tried to cut carrots, onions and green pepper as the same as how the spaghetti looks like, as the shape of the spaghetti, just to make sure that it will be easy when you are eating, because when you cut them into like carrot into cubes, then they are going to be left on the plate alone. So make sure you cut as the shape of the spaghetti. So I've added a little bit of salt so that my carrots and onions can cook quickly. So what I also added my garlic and green pepper. I added them when the carrots and onions were almost done. They were halfway done. So I don't want my green pepper to be too cooked. So when they're like 25% cooked, I added my tomatoes. I mean just my one tomato, which I've finally chopped into small pieces, very small. And because of that, I'm also adding the tomato paste almost at the same time with as with my tomatoes, because the tomatoes are going to cook so quickly because I've cut them into small pieces. So it's okay to add the tomato paste after adding the tomatoes. You really don't have to wait if you have cut your tomatoes into small pieces. So as you can see, the tomatoes are done, and the tomato paste is also done. So this is when you add your spices. For me, I'll just use the chicken bouillon, or you can use Maggi. Because I don't have Maggi, that's why I use the chicken seasoning. And I also went ahead and add my tin fish, my tin mackerel fish. This is what I'm using today. This is the special ingredient today. To be honest, I don't like spaghetti, but whenever I cook it in this way, I really get to enjoy it so much. And so I can also advise you to cook it in this way. I also added a little bit of water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it boil, and when it's like after like 3 minutes on medium heat, we then add in our spaghetti. Reminding you that there are people who don't like adding spaghetti in the tomato in the spaghetti sauce. So what you can do, you can let your tomato your sauce cook. Then when it's done cooking, you can just add it on top of your spaghetti. That's also fine, but for me, I just add my spaghetti in the spaghetti sauce. Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix to make sure that the sauce my spaghettis are coated with this delicious, very delicious sauce, which has mackerel or tin fish inside. I'm going to cover and let it cook for about 5 minutes, and I'll make sure to be mixing in within those 5 minutes so that it won't get burnt or stuck on the pot. And this is how it looks like at the end. It's just so easy to cook, and it's so delicious. Just make sure to try to cook it. It's so easy to cook. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. See you next Friday.